Throughout human history, medical practitioners have prescribed healing treatments. The medicine they gave would treat the symptoms of an infection, such as pain or fever. But it didn't eliminate the infection itself. Not until 1928, when a careless lab technician, Alexander Fleming, came back from vacation and noticed the mold growing in his dirty petri dish had stopped the growth of a strain of infectious bacteria. It was out of this accidental discovery that a new medicine was developed that didn't treat the symptoms, but killed the source of the problem. The new medicine was called penicillin. When Jesus came, he also offered something new for humanity that didn't just treat the symptoms, but gave us a cure that could heal the very wickedness of the human heart. Welcome to Building Mettle, brought to you by Baird & Wilson Sheet Metal. When Moses gave the Israelites the commandments, which God expected them to obey, these laws came as part of an agreement, or another word is covenant. The deal was that if the descendants of Jacob would commit to the covenant and keep the commandments, then they would receive blessings, which included having their own land, where they would have their own country with their own rulers. If they rejected the covenant, then they would lose their country and be ruled by another nation's king. They did indeed fail to keep the commandments of Moses. In fact, the best that the law of Moses could do was reveal the wickedness of their heart and offer temporary treatments for the symptoms of their spiritual illness. However, centuries before Jesus came, the prophet Jeremiah wrote, "The days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the people of Israel and with the people of Judah. I will put my law in their minds and write it on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people." The prophet Ezekiel also wrote, "I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit in you and move you to follow my decrees and be careful to keep my laws." The old covenant under Moses was an agreement that was sealed or ratified with blood. An animal, such as a lamb, was sacrificed as a symbolic way of saying, "I swear by my life to keep my end of this agreement." When Jesus was teaching the crowds on the mountainside, he was telling them his interpretation of the law of Moses as if these were his commandments that were given centuries before. He spoke as if he had the authority of the Scriptures. He said, "You have heard that it was said to the people long ago, 'You shall not murder, and anyone who murders will be subject to judgment.' But I tell you that anyone who is angry with a brother or sister will be subject to judgment." What's going on here? Jesus is again saying, "I'm the new Moses," and as the new Moses, he would be the one to offer God's people a new covenant. Like the old covenant, it would be an agreement sealed in blood. Only this one would not be sealed by the blood of an animal. The commandments that Jesus gave in his Sermon on the Mount were commandments that were applied not just to outward behavior, but to inward thoughts and motivations. His interpretation of the law went much deeper, all the way down into the deepest part of every person's heart. This is the great physician revealing his diagnosis of everyone. If we cannot keep the law outwardly, how would we ever do so inwardly? We need something that will not just treat the symptoms, but provide a cure. Ironically, the cure begins not with a diagnosis of our heart, but with a revelation of God's heart. Jesus referred to God as our Heavenly Father, who loves us as His children and wants us to have a relationship with Him. He wants us to get to know Him. One way to do that is through prayer. Prayer, Jesus said, is simply having enough faith to say something along these lines. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, and your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Jesus reminds us that it's our Father's kingdom, it's His power, and it's His glory forever. And on that basis, we can trust Him to give us the promised new heart if we just ask Him. We'll learn more about the Father's love for us in the next episode, but first, here's some tools to take with you today. Number 1, we may fail to keep our side of an agreement, but God cannot fail to keep His side. Number 2, our hearts are changed not by what we do outwardly, but by what God does to us inwardly. Number 3, God always has the time to listen to what you have to say to Him. We'll be back again with more tools in the next episode of Building Mettle. The music of Building Mettle is a production of Jed Brewer and Good Loud Media, Oak Park, Illinois. Also special thanks to Christ Community Church, Oak Ridge, Tennessee.